it's suitable for landscape mode, but there is what I see from the very top of the hill, more or less, as I cross into Creemore. Well, as I approach it. But with a lot of downhills, it's going to be a lot easier to make this journey than it was coming up all these hills. So it's like when I climbed up Mount Shasta in June of 2014. It took 2 hours to make my way up to the base of the sheer cliff, but it only took 1 hour to make my way down. So hopefully you have the same effect here. It is hard to believe that my phone is 5.5 years old. And look, there's all the cows. There's a clearer view of the downhill with houses on top of the hill and so forth. Now, we don't have to take the road up, of course. Hi, cows. So you can consider the short videos I took earlier as a preview of this walking trip outside of Creemore. Cows! 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 Nice cows. Good cows. Good cows. Nice cows. See? Guess I was recording that whole time. I'll have to see if I can edit that out with Movie Maker. It's a lot easier to see what I'm aiming at now that I'm in the shadow of the trees. You can see a lot of these tall trees, just like you'd see in Latvia and everything. So I think we're soon going to get to the point where I can look over there and see some beautiful landscape views, like that house on top of the red hill. I mean, it's a bit obstructed here. You can see a hint of it, of course, but I'll come back when I get more. Oh my gosh, you have 28 minutes of room. That's what happens when you delete the most recent month when it's safely backed up on my computer. When I was way down at the bottom of the hill, I thought those hydro lines indicated the last hill. I was certainly mistaken about that. This is almost like being in a mountain area and seeing all the views from the top of Single Shot Mountain or something. That's beautiful, with the setting sun on it. That's neat, way out there, seeing the hill on top. There you go. Here's the kind of view I was looking for. But I think I can, you see that house on top of the red hill? Maybe if I go down a bit further, I'll see even more. Now there's a good view with the farm tree in the foreground. Maybe that would make a good thumbnail, or maybe between the tree and you can crop it to see the far view. That would be even more ideal, actually. It's like looking between the Utah cliffs. That's something. That's what I try to do. I try to pick the most interesting part of the journey to be the thumbnail, even if it takes a few minutes within the video to get there. You want to give them a reason to watch all the way through, I think. And with my travel channel stuck at 67 subscribers, you got to do something to bring it out. I think I see the John Deere tractor in the beginning, in the far end there. John Deere Tractor Factory. Well, I haven't got to a better viewpoint yet, but you're getting closer to the hill, at least. So that's something. I think we're getting close now to get into a viewpoint that'll be more viewpointy, for lack of a better term. Spectacular is the proper term, I believe. There's the point of the house on the hill with the red roof. See it in the center of your screen. There is the viewpoint, but I think if I get a bit further down the hill, I'll see more. Of course, there is that view. A less obstructed view of the house on the red hill, but there is a red roof barn there. So let's see, and some fall colors still. There's another red roof barn and house way off in the distance. So that's quite beautiful, really. There's a good view. Might have our choice of thumbnails, but I like the one that's framed by the trees, actually. Although there's one with a dead tree in the center. There you go, that's something you'd see in the mountains. It's beautiful. I can't think of a better picture than to have the farming equipment in the foreground with the barn in the middle ground, and then the landscape view in the background. So, how about that? There you go. So maybe that is the thumbnail in choice. It's best to get a few choices to pick from. Something that also you can crop. So there, speaking of crop, there's the crop. And there's the view without the tractor in the background. Here are the hills on the other side of Creemore with an isolated house or something. That white triangle in the far distant section of your picture. And by not taking, and that's Creemore itself, and that's where I'm going, because that's where I live. And you can see how far down the lane that house is that this farm probably belongs to. Yeah. Well, we'll see if there's more to pick up once we get down the hill. But that's all for this moment, and this section of the video. There's a brief view there. That's beautiful. Trying to keep the house out of the equation, of course. Can't go without getting a picture of the beautiful willow tree. That's gorgeous. And if you take a look, you notice that the willow tree, for some unknown reason, is still mostly green. Hardly any yellow at all, even if every other leafy tree is nearly bare by now. I don't know if this is the end, but that's a nice picture to get as you round the curve near the bottom of the hills. There you go. That's gorgeous. The center of your screen there. Okay, I think we've reached the end of the video, because now we're getting into the neighborhoods and the beautiful landscapes and such, but that's where we came from. So that'll end the video for the, I guess it's the south or the east end of Creemore, and here's a good view to end it on. Don't mind the car that's in the way. And the trees up on top of the hill. So we'll see you here next time. Bye-bye.